All right, welcome in everyone to this deep dive. And today we are tackling the miracle morning.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard about this?
Yes, I have heard about this, and I'm very excited to dive in.
Okay, so we've got a mix of testimonials. We've got some excerpts straight from Hal Elrod's book.
Okay.
And we're going to kind of figure out, what's the deal? What is this miracle morning? Is this something that could actually be valuable? Could this unlock some potential for us?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really intrigued. Like, is this a miracle, or is it, just type?
Right. Well, we've got to start with the story of the author, Hal Elrod.
Okay.
This guy was pronounced dead at the scene of a car accident at age 20.
Oh, wow.
So, talk about a story.
Yeah, talk about overcoming adversity, right? Like, that's incredible.
And that's not all, right? So he doesn't just survive this car accident.
Okay.
He goes on and he builds a successful sales career.
All right.
But then in 2008, he hits what he calls his second rock bottom.
Oh.
So this is where he's facing some financial struggles and, pretty deep depression.
Yeah, yeah. That's something that, especially in 2008, a lot of people can relate to. Kind of the economic climate, everything that was going on at that time, very relatable.
Yeah, it definitely resonated with me. This idea that even someone who seemingly had it all figured out could experience such a significant setback.
Right, definitely.
But this is where the miracle part comes in, right?
Yeah.
So he credits a simple morning run with sparking a complete life overhaul, and he claims that this is what led him to develop this morning routine that transformed everything for him.
Wow. So it really makes you think, right? Like, what if how we start our day actually determines the entire course of our day and kind of sets the tone for everything else that happens?
Right. It's like that first domino.
Yeah. The ripple effect.
And Elrod doesn't hold back in this book.
Okay.
He asserts that 95% of people never reach their full potential.
Wow.
So that's a pretty bold statement.
Yeah.
He points to some widespread issues like health problems, financial stress, relationship struggles, kind of those common things as evidence for this claim.
Yeah. No, I think he's right. Like, when you look around, it's tough to disagree with a lot of those observations, unfortunately.
Yeah. He paints a pretty bleak picture of, the average life, but it's hard to say he's wrong.
Right. Yeah.
So this is where the miracle morning comes in.
Okay.
And it's about dedicating the first hour of your day to personal growth through 6 specific activities that he calls Life, S.A.V.E.R.S.
Life, S.A.V.E.R.S.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I want to know what they are. But before we get into those, I think it's interesting that, Elrod himself, he wasn't always a morning person.
Really?
Yeah, he actually resisted the idea of waking up early at first, which I think, probably a lot of our listeners can relate to that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's definitely not a jump out of bed, greet the day kind of person.
Oh.
No, me neither.
But he does say it becomes surprisingly easy once you commit to it and once you start experiencing the benefits.
Oh, okay.
So that's promising.
That is promising.
All right, so let's unpack a few of these. Life, S-A-V-E-R-S.
Okay.
Starting with S for silence.
Silence, okay.
So think about how most of us begin our mornings, scrambling, stressed, already running through that mental to-do list.
Oh, yeah. The minute my eyes open, it's just go, go, go.
Right. Like, where's my coffee?
Yeah, exactly.
And Elrod contrasts that chaos with the power of starting your day with intention and with quiet.
Okay.
So he suggests things like meditation, prayer, or even just some focused breathing.
Yeah.
And, there's real science to back this up, right? So studies have shown that even a few minutes of silence can lower stress hormones and improve focus.
Wow. So instead of just feeling, kind of frazzled and frantic first thing in the morning, like, imagine starting your day with calm and with clarity.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
That sounds pretty good to me, even, as a night owl.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, now, the next S.A.V.E.R. Affirmations.
Affirmations,
yeah.
Okay.
So this is one that, honestly used to make me roll my eyes a little bit.
Yeah, I get it. It can sound a little, I don't know.
Yeah, a little woo-woo.
Yeah.
But then I read about how Elrod actually used affirmations to help him overcome some serious memory problems after his accident.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it kind of changed my perspective on it.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit more tangible, right? Because it's more than just like these feel-good phrases. It's about kind of like rewiring your beliefs in a way.
Yeah, like planting seeds in your mind instead of focusing on those limitations.
Exactly.
So take Elrod's example. He struggled to remember simple things after his accident.
Wow.
And so he started crafting these affirmations like, my memory is improving every day. And he would repeat these consistently, and over time, he actually noticed improvements.
That's amazing.
So it really highlights how powerful our thoughts can be in shaping our reality.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you constantly tell yourself you're not good at something, then chances are you probably won't be good at it. But if you actually change your language and you focus on, these positive affirmations, then you actually start to embody those qualities.
Right. Yeah.
It's incredible.
It makes you think about how much negativity we feed ourselves without even realizing it.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Okay, so we've got silence and affirmations. The next one is V for visualization.
Okay.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Right.
So Elrod points out that we often visualize our past failures.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of focusing on future successes.
Right, right.
And he even mentions, some really captivating examples of celebrities who use visualization to achieve their dreams.
Oh, really? Like
Jim Carrey.
Okay.
Remember that story about him writing himself a $10 million check years before he actually earned it?
I do, yeah.
He visualized that success so vividly.
Oh.
And guess what?
What?
He achieved it.
He did, yeah.
It's like, wow, is the power of attraction real?
That makes you wonder, yeah.
Is this more than just a catchy phrase?
Right.
But even beyond, attracting specific outcomes, Elrod emphasizes the power of visualization to boost motivation and to inspire action.
Right, because it's not just sitting back and waiting for things to magically appear. It's about creating that picture in your mind of what you want to achieve, and then actually, working towards it. And I think that, visualizing it can help you make those choices to actually get there.
Yeah, it's like a mental rehearsal for success.
Yeah.
And by repeatedly visualizing that desired outcome, you're kind of training your mind to believe it's possible.
Right.
And it can increase your confidence in your ability to achieve it.
Absolutely. And he actually has like a pretty simple 3-step process for effective visualization in his book.
Okay.
Which we can dive into a little bit later if you'd like.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
So we've got silence, we've got affirmations, we've got visualization. 3 really incredible, powerful tools, for personal growth, all kind of packed into that first hour of your day.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I imagine some listeners might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually make these changes stick?
Right. It's hard enough to just wake up in the morning, let alone do all this other stuff.
Yeah, and New Year's resolutions rarely last, so what makes this different?
That's the question.
And that's a great question.
Yeah.
And that's something that Elrod actually addresses head on with his 30-day challenge.
30-day challenge. Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
So it's not about, willpower, like just white-knuckling your way through it. It's designed to make the miracle morning a sustainable habit.
Okay.
So not just a temporary burst of motivation, and he actually breaks down habit formation into 3 10-day phases.
Okay.
So from unbearable to unstoppable.
So it recognizes that that initial resistance, right? We all kind of have that when we're trying to establish a new routine.
Yeah, exactly. So the first 10 days are about pushing through that that discomfort, knowing that it does get easier, and then days 11 through 20, it's about building that consistency.
Yep.
And then in that final days 21 through 30, that's where kind of the magic happens.
That's where you start actually seeing the benefits and associating pleasure with the routine, so it becomes less of a chore and more of something you actually kind of look forward to.
Exactly. And he actually uses his own transformation to illustrate this.
Okay.
So he, went from hating running to completing an ultra marathon.
Wow.
So
that's pretty inspiring.
Yeah. So that just shows the power of pushing past those initial barriers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to the S.A.V.E.R.S.
Okay.
So we've covered silence, affirmations, and visualization. What about E?
So E is for exercise.
Okay.
Now, this doesn't necessarily mean, hitting the gym for an hour, first thing in the morning. It's about just incorporating some form of physical activity into your routine, even if it's just, a few minutes of stretching or a brisk walk.
Right. And Elrod really emphasizes how, even small amounts of exercise can boost energy levels, improve focus, and just like set a positive tone for the entire day.
Absolutely. And there's research to support that. I mean, studies have shown that morning exercise can actually improve, cognitive function, even enhance creativity.
Wow. Yeah. It's amazing how those seemingly small actions can have such a big impact on, our mental and physical well-being.
Totally.
Okay, on to the next. S.A.V.E.R. R for reading.
Reading, yes. And now we're not talking about, just like leisurely reading before bed. This is about dedicating time each morning to, reading for personal growth and development. So he suggests feeding your mind with books that inspire you, educate you, or even challenge your perspectives.
It's like having a personal development coach, like whispering wisdom in your ear first thing in the morning.
Exactly. Yeah, and he actually suggests just starting with 10 pages a day.
Oh, okay.
Which, might not seem like a lot.
Yeah.
But think about the cumulative effect over time. I mean, that's 18 books a year.
Wow. Yeah.
So again, it's about consistency, not intensity.
Right.
Those small daily actions, they can lead to remarkable progress over time.
Yeah, and those ideas kind of, they start to seep into your subconscious and really shape your thinking.
Totally. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's like a slow drip of inspiration that eventually fills your cup.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, and reading.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves us with one final S-A-V-E-R.
Okay.
S for scribing.
Scribing, all right.
And now this doesn't mean, that you need to aspire to be the next best-selling author.
Right.
It's about capturing your thoughts and insights in a way that helps you kind of process them and make sense of them.
Okay.
Elrod is a big advocate for journaling.
Right.
He actually shares how it went from being something he would do occasionally to, a daily ritual thanks to the miracle morning.
And he actually highlights a really fascinating benefit of journaling, which is the power of reviewing those entries later on.
Oh, yeah.
So, imagine like looking back on a year's worth of journal entries and seeing, how far you've come and what you've learned.
Yeah, it's like a time machine to your own personal growth journey.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it can also help you identify any patterns in your thinking.
Totally.
It can pinpoint areas where you might still be holding yourself back. You can recapture those, valuable lessons or insights that might have faded over time.
Right. It's like having a personalized read map for your own development.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Sure.
So we've explored all 6 of the life S-A-V-E-R-S. Silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing.
Yes.
They're all incredibly powerful tools in their own right, but what's really striking is how they kind of work together to create this really holistic approach to personal growth.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's fascinating how he's kind of woven these seemingly disparate practices into like this cohesive framework.
Right.
And what I think is really brilliant about it is that it's not like a rigid one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
He really encourages people to customize the routine based on their individual needs, their goals, their lifestyle.
Yeah, that's a key point. Like, there's no right or wrong way to do the miracle morning.
Exactly.
It's about finding what works for you.
Yeah.
And making it a sustainable part of your life.
Totally.
And he even provides, examples of different miracle morning routines that are tailored for entrepreneurs, stay-at-home parents, even students.
Right. Yeah. So it's all about, finding what resonates with you and making it your own.
Yeah. And for those days when, time is really tight, he actually offers like a 6-minute miracle morning.
Oh, wow.
So there are really no excuses.
I like that.
You can literally squeeze in a mini version of this routine before you even finish your first cup of coffee.
Before coffee. That's impressive.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of coffee, Elrod actually recommends eating after your miracle morning.
Oh, interesting.
For optimal focus and energy. And he actually goes into the science behind that and even shares his own like superfood smoothie recipe.
Oh, wow.
Which, by the way, you can find on his website.
Right.
It's a nice little bonus for those who want to try it out. But, it's not just about what you eat. It's about why you eat it.
Right.
He really encourages mindfulness and prioritizing food choices that, fuel your energy and your health rather than just giving into those fleeting cravings.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that like what we put into our bodies really impacts how we show up in the world. And if we want to unlock our full potential, we need to fuel ourselves, with that intention.
Right. It's all about making those conscious choices that support our overall well-being.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've unpacked the S.A.V.E.R.S, the 30-day challenge, the importance of customization. We've even touched on the, role of nutrition.
Yeah.
But there's one kind of crucial element that we haven't explored yet, and that's connecting the miracle morning back to, those bigger goals and dreams that we all have.
Right, right. Because it's not just about like personal development for the sake of personal development. It's about actually, using these tools to achieve something meaningful in your life.
Right. So it's not just personal development in a vacuum.
Exactly.
It's about using these tools to actually achieve something fulfilling in your life.
Exactly. Yeah. He really emphasizes the importance of alignment. So, for example, if your goal is to write a book, then your affirmations should reflect that ambition. And during your visualization, you can imagine yourself, writing effortlessly, joyfully, really immersed in that creative process.
Yeah, so it's like creating synergy between, your inner world, like your thoughts, your beliefs, your aspirations, and your outer world, like your actions and the reality that you create.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. So the miracle morning becomes like the tool to bridge that gap,
right,
and really manifest those desires.
Yeah, like setting an intention for the day and then actually taking those, small, consistent actions to bring it to life.
Exactly, and that's actually where his the email that will change your life exercise kind of comes in.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is that all about?
So this is about it's about kind of overcoming that fear of feedback and actively seeking out constructive criticism from those who know you best.
Okay.
And turning those blind spots into opportunities for growth.
Right. So it's about getting a clear, unfiltered perspective on your strengths and your weaknesses.
Exactly.
Even if it stings a little bit at first.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely requires, some vulnerability, but he actually provides like a template for the email, to kind of make it easier to reach out and ask for that feedback.
Oh, okay. That's helpful.
Yeah. And he argues that, that avoidance of feedback can actually really hold us back from, reaching our full potential.
Right.
Because it's those blind spots that, we don't even know about that can really trip us up.
Right. So it's like having a team of personal development coaches, cheering you on.
Yeah.
Even if their feedback isn't always, easy to hear.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's a powerful reminder that growth often requires us to step outside of our comfort zones.
Yeah.
And be open to hearing, those uncomfortable truths.
Right. And embrace those challenges as opportunities for growth.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've delved into Elrod's story. We've explored the 6-Life S.A.V.E.R.S, discussed the 30-day challenge, and, we even touched upon the importance of nutrition and seeking feedback.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
What an incredible journey. But there's one more piece to this puzzle that I think is really important to highlight.
Okay, what's that?
And that's the ripple effect.
The ripple effect, yeah.
So Elrod doesn't just focus on, his own transformation. He actually shares countless testimonials from people all over the world whose lives have been positively impacted by the miracle morning.
Yeah, and that's really a testament to the power of small, consistent actions to create, massive change, not just in our own lives, but also in the lives of those around us. And it's pretty inspiring to see how this, seemingly simple routine has had such a profound impact on so many people.
Yeah, it really does make you wonder if this, could be the catalyst for creating positive change in your own life and maybe even, inspiring others around you.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the real beauty of it, is that, the potential for transformation, it extends far beyond ourselves.
Right. And Elrod, he doesn't even take all the credit. He really emphasizes the role of, mentors, teachers, family, in his own journey.
Yeah.
He even dedicates a section of his book to, expressing gratitude for their support.
It's a good reminder that we're all part of, this larger web of interconnectedness. Yeah. And even those who achieve, what we might consider incredible success, they still have those people who've helped them along the way.
Yeah.
And so it's important to, both acknowledge those contributions and find ways to pay it forward.
Right. And he also encourages readers to spread the word, to share the Miracle Morning with others. You know, it's like creating this ripple effect of positive change.
I love that, it's like this personal transformation kind of rippling outward.
Right.
And then inspiring others to unlock their own potential.
Right.
And it's about, empowering each other to create these more fulfilling lives.
Yeah, absolutely. So to wrap things up today, we've explored the Miracle Morning through, those inspiring testimonials, key excerpts from Elrod's book, and even, his own pretty remarkable life story.
Yeah, we've unhacked those 6, powerful life S.A.V.E.R.S, the 30-day challenge, the importance of, customizing the routine, and we even touched on the connection between nutrition and personal growth.
Yeah, we even talked about seeking feedback.
Yeah, and the ripple effect.
And that ripple effect.
Yeah, so, while the Miracle Morning, it might not be a magic bullet.
Right.
It really does offer like this practical framework for personal growth and just this powerful reminder that we're all capable of, really extraordinary things.
Yeah, and ultimately, Elrod's journey, I think, raises this really crucial question for all of us, which is, what one small change could you make tomorrow morning to set yourself up for a more fulfilling day?
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. And it doesn't have to be this drastic, overhaul. Even just a small shift in your morning routine can make a world of difference. So, explore, experiment, and see if the Miracle Morning could be, your key to unlocking a more fulfilling life.
That's great advice. Well, until next time, everyone, keep diving deep and keep learning.